Mailbag time here on the Cleveland Browns Report. Our first question is coming in from Chef Ruben. Is Stefanski's seat warm or hot? If it's just these two options, I'll say warm. I mean, Jimmy Haslam knows that the expectations are sky high this year, right? And Stefanski knows that, Barry knows that, everyone knows that. But Jimmy Haslam also knows, and ultimately, the only opinion that matters is Jimmy Haslam's opinion. Jimmy Haslam knows that he is not about to start another head coaching carousel. He has said that he has learned from his mistakes and he is done firing coaches off of quick impulse reactions and whatnot. And being 1-1 and losing in week 2 and putting someone on the hot seat after that is an impulse reaction. So no, I don't think Kevin Stefanski is on the hot seat. You might not like him as the head coach, but right now when your team is 1-1, you're not in the hot seat. That's just a fact. I don't know how else to put it. Next one coming in from Jarrett Roush. At which week do you start panicking if the offense can't make a change? For me, I would say week 6, right? The Browns have week 6, against the Indianapolis Colts, week 3 against the Titans, week 4 against the Ravens, week 5's a bye, week 6 against the 49ers, week 7. That's the one I'm going with. Week 7 against the Colts. That's 2 games after your bye week. I think if you can come out after the bye and put together a good performance against the 49ers, you're going to feel a lot good about yourself. If it's 2 bad games after the bye, yeah, I'm going to start panicking. Right now, I'm not panicking. It's 2 weeks of a 18-week season. No, I'm not panicking 2 weeks in. I'm just not gonna even reach for the panic button at the moment. I do know where it is though. I know which drawer it is in. But I'm not gonna take it out of the drawer just yet. I'm gonna save that for a few weeks from now. Levi Mayfield, start DTR for a game. Levi, I appreciate you always being a staple of the show, but no. You're not benching Deshaun Watson. It's just not happening. Dorian Thompson-Robinson had an awesome preseason, but no. Simply put, no. Tyrone, wouldn't mind seeing Aaron Jones. Okay, so there was some trade conversations, or rumors, I should say, involving Jonathan Taylor to the Packers. And a lot of people thought, well, either Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon would be going back to Indianapolis, which means the Packers might be okay with parting ways from one of those 2 players. Now, the Packers GM back then kind of shut down the idea of this trade rumor, although I think he just got caught and said we don't see ourselves without Aaron Jones, and A.J. Dillon's a big part of what we want to do, yada, 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 all that good stuff. But Aaron Jones is injured at the moment. He missed week 2, but if he's healthy, I just don't think the Packers are interested in moving on from him ultimately. You'd have to give him an offer they can't refuse. And right now, maybe the Browns are in a spot where they have to start giving out offers and start overpaying and selling for assets to try and salvage this season. And if that's the case, Aaron Jones is a good option. He's a good receiving back. He's a good running back. But if the Browns are not willing to start parting ways with good draft assets, not having a first-round pick this year, keep in mind, then Aaron Jones might not be in the play. Nick Howard, what's going on? How about trading for Eno Benjamin? Also, I agree, bring in Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny. I should say that we are filming today's live show during our mailbag. We're filming today's mailbag during our live show, which was on Tuesday. So if any moves happen between now and when you're watching this video, just bear with us. But as for Eno Benjamin, it would cost you pretty much nothing, right? Last I saw he was in the Cardinals. He's in the Saints now. Yeah, he left Arizona. Sure, you could trade for Eno Benjamin for a 2025 7th-round draft pick. You could trade him for a bag of footballs. I don't know how much better he is than Jerome Ford or Pierre Strong Jr. So if you're trying to improve the running back room, I don't think Eno Benjamin's the guy to do that. As for Leonard Fournette, he could legitimately improve the running back room. Maxwell, next one up. Thoughts on trading DPJ? Dude hasn't done anything through 2 weeks. Yeah, DPJ so far has been more or less a bystander. I mean, we are 2 weeks into the season, and he has 1 reception for 12 yards. So with him being a free agent at the end of this year, makes you kind of wonder if DPJ is just not going to be a part of this team's long-term plans, and he's not really in their current plans, then what's the point of holding on to him? My pushback will be, it's 2 weeks. Do not give up on players 2 weeks into the season. That's just way too early. This offense needs to get figured out. This passing game needs to get better. They're going to want Donovan Peoples-Jones to be there to help bring along the passing game. If you want Watson to improve, I don't think a good way to do that is to take away one of his top guys. that's probably not going to help the cause a lot. But if the Browns ultimately feel DPJ is just not going to be a big contributor this year, and they want to get something for him now before he leaves in free agency, if they don't plan on re-signing him, then I could see Andrew Berry maybe even including DPJ in for a running back deal to try and soften some of the draft capital you'd have to use to maybe get one of the premium running backs out there. But let me know, would you trade Donovan Peoples-Jones for a 5th-round draft pick? Type Y for yes, type N for no down in the comments section. I would ultimately pass right now. If we are at the trade deadline and DPJ still doesn't have much of a role in this offense, sure, trade him then. But for now, I'm going to hold on to him 2 weeks in. Tyler Hoover, next one up. How do you feel about Stefanski's play calling? Tyler, not great. Simply put, not great. On one hand, the Browns probably shouldn't have been in a position where they were passing the ball late in the fourth quarter to lead to a strip sack fumble recovery for a touchdown. But on the other hand, when you don't have Nick Chubb in the backfield and you want to keep moving the chains to keep chewing up clock, then you kind of find yourself in between a rock and a hard place. Ultimately, I feel like with Stefanski, his play calling when the lights are the brightest, he sucks. Like, he's just not a good play caller when it's a big balls game. Like when it is a Monday night game, when there's a lot of pressure on this team, or it is all eyes on Cleveland right now, Stefanski seems to crumble under that kind of pressure. He's awesome at Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern. Maybe he's the Kirk Cousins of head coaches. That very well could be that. Maybe Kevin Stefanski, who coached Kirk Cousins, is the Kirk Cousins of head coaches. That might be my new spin here. How do I feel about it? Not good. I don't think there's a better play caller on this team. AVP, Alex Van Pelt, a better play caller. Once you go to once you remove the head coach's play calling, there's no going back to it usually. If you do go back to it, things have quickly spiraled out of control. So I'm going to reluctantly agree to hold on to Kevin Stefanski remaining the play caller. Now, before we get on to the rest of the questions in today's mailbag, our show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. Now, they have so many awesome features, but one of the best ones is just downloading the Game Time app and getting $20 off your first purchase. Now, I personally use Game Time when I went to a college football game now a few weeks ago, and with Game Time, like I just mentioned, I got $20 off my ticket. So if you are looking to go to a Browns game, a Cavs game coming up soon, a concert, anything going on in Cleveland or wherever you live, check out Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use promo code BROWNSCHAT. Get $20 off. It's an awesome tool because it gives you so many great features, like being able to see what your seats will look like before you buy tickets, which with other sites, it's not that easy. And I saw an image of a seat at a University of Texas football game where the seat's right behind like the big uterus-looking Longhorn behind one of the end zones. So with Game Time, you don't have any of those issues. So download Game Time today, create an account, and use code BROWNSCHAT for $20 off. Tickets, by the way, are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email, and then you're the guy at the ticket gate trying to scroll up and down your email to find an old email with your tickets on it. Nope, they're right on your phone. It's super easy. It's super simple. So download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Terms apply, but once again, create an account and use code BROWNSCHAT for $20 off. Terry Hall, what's going on, dude? What is your updated win-loss for the Browns? I had them at my first win-loss prediction. I hate doing these. Was 10-7, if I remember correctly, back when the schedule came out in May. My second one before the season was 12-5. I'm probably closer to my 10-7 one than my 12-7, my 12-5. But also in my first one, I had the Browns going 1-1 to start. So being 1-1 does not remove you from winning 12 games. I think 10-7, just the way they played offensively through these first two games, make it a lot more feasible. However, if the defense continues to limit the opposing offense to 3 and 12 points, the Browns could more or less just half-ass their way to 9-10 wins, and that's good enough to get in the playoffs, but it's not good enough to take down the juggernauts of the AFC. Roman Empire fan, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? Should the Browns extend Grant Delpit? Grant Delpit is freaking awesome. The dude might be this team's best player on defense after Myles Garrett. And I am not opposed to extending extending Grant Delpit midseason. We saw the Browns do this with Wyatt Teller and Joel Petonio. Nick Chubb got an extension in August of 2 years ago. So Andrew Berry is not afraid to extend someone mid-year and get it done before free agency gets here. And this is something I can definitely get around. Because Grant Delpit is not looking like, hey, that's a good player that you use for 4 years on a cheap rookie contract and then you replace. No, Grant Delpit looks like a permanent fixture of this defense long term. I want to see this get done. I want to see Andrew Berry lock down Grant Delpit. I do not want to see him play for any team next year. Get it done, Andrew Berry. Grant Delpit, after Myles Garrett, in my opinion, has been the best player on this Browns defense. I think he's been more valuable to this secondary than maybe even Denzel Ward. I mean, that's just a huge testament to how well 22 has played. This is not a slight against 21, but Grant Delpit, he's been rock solid, dude. So who do you think the best player is on defense, by the way, after Myles Garrett so far? 2 weeks in, who's been second best? Or if you think Grant Delpit's the best, you can roll with that as well. For me, I think it's Grant Delpit. Next question coming in from Tyrone. Tyrone, the Titans are in rebuild mode and could be looking to get rid of King Derrick Henry. Wouldn't be a bad addition. Yeah, I agree. I don't think the Titans are interested in trading Derrick Henry, though. That is sort of where this conversation comes to an end. I don't think Tennessee is thinking they are in rebuild mode. They are thinking we're a team that was 7-2 last year, and then we lost or 7-3, and then we lost our last 7 games to go 7-10. They're 1-1 right now. I don't think this is a time where they feel like they need to start selling off pieces. Now, if October 31st rolls around and the Titans have 2 wins to their names and the Browns have figured out their offense, but they know Jerome Ford has limitations, sure, this is a conversation that would make a lot more sense in October. But as it stands right now in September, I don't think the Browns are going to make this big of a tidal wave type of trade. And I don't think the Titans are interested in trading the greatest player in franchise history after 2 weeks when they're 1-1 themselves. We got some quick super chats I want to run through here coming in from Matthew Kulpa. Us Browns Nation need to come together and show support for Chubb and donate to his charity at First Candle. Prayers for 24. Matthew, I really appreciate this super chat and your thoughts and overall your genuine kindness towards Nick Chubb. It's an awesome thing what you're doing here, and I couldn't agree with it more. Go support Nick Chubb and his charitable causes. The guy is awesome. I mean, that's really all it needs to be said. He is a superhero to so many people in Cleveland. He has been the rock for this organization for almost a half a decade at this point, more than that. So, yeah, Matthew, I back this sentiment up 100%. Go support Nick Chubb. Captain Nog, man, Nick Chubb was the reason I became a Browns fan. He made football fun. Just the drive that man has is magnetizing and made me excited to watch football. I pray for a perfect recovery. Love you, Chubb. Nick Chubb was someone that I think we all sort of thought was like untouchable, right? Like he's immortal, right? He squats 800 pounds. No one can take down Nick Chubb. Unfortunately, we learned that everyone in the NFL is mortal. And Captain Nog, I could not agree more that Nick Chubb is not just, the reason you became a Browns fan, but a reason a lot of people became a Browns fan. The reason why I've got this jersey on right now is because I love Nick Chubb, and it sucks that he's not going to be a part of the rest of the season. Jarrett Roush, this has just turned into a complete funeral/eulogy, and we kind of need to hear it. I still can't wrap my mind around it. Been wanting to talk to someone all day about it. I love this team and always will, but this is just devastating. Only thing is to keep chugging along and try their damn best. Thank you, Petey. Jarrett, yeah, I sign off on this 100%. It is something that I woke up on Monday morning or Tuesday morning thinking, this is a nightmare. And I hope last night never happened, but it did happen. Joshua Miller, last one here. Grant Delpit is our team MVP through the first 2 games. You're right. Who is it on offense? No one. No one's outdoing Grant Delpit on the offensive side. That's a fact. On the defensive side, it's easy to say Myles Garrett, but Grant Delpit has been a better player probably. So I would agree, Josh. Grant Delpit is definitely the MVP of the Browns 2 games in. That's going to do it for us on today's mailbag. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come hang out with us here at the Cleveland Browns Report. If you enjoyed our type of content, consider subscribing and get yourself the best free Browns YouTube content out there.